It's Tech It Out!
This week on Tech It Out, I'm going to show you how to back up your files.
Last week, it was how to clean your Google Drive. This week, let's get Marie Kondo on your Gmail.
And Mike will show you how to keep track of your screen time.
Tech It Out! Whether you're taking your laptop with you for the summer or leaving it behind, maybe permanently, like me, it's always a good idea to back up your files. You can also do this anytime your computer goes to Dom and his team for re-imaging. It's super easy, takes a few steps, and you'll rest peacefully knowing your files are secure. The first thing you need is either an external hard drive or space in a cloud storage, such as Google Drive. A little math might be needed to see how much space you'll need, but you got that. If you're not worried about space, skip this next step and drag and drop on. To see your files, open up Finder, go to your User Home tab. If you don't see it, select the Go tab from the Finder menu and select Home. Here you see all of your user files. To find out how large each file is, two-finger right-click on the file and select Get Info. Do this for each folder you want to copy, then tally up the gigabytes and you'll know how much space you need. Do I really need all my downloads? If you've got the time, you can pick and choose. But if you can't be bothered and you're not worried about space, just drag it all. Go to Home, Users, and drag your user folder over to your Google Drive or your external hard drive, or maybe both. For some files, you may need to enter your computer password. Other ones, like the applications, which are the programs on your computer, you won't be able to drag over. Now, the transfer time will vary depending on the number and size of files. For some files, like your music or your movies that are held within iMovie or iTunes, you'll want to go to that folder. So if you go to your music folder or your movie folder, and there you will click on the movie library. And if you right-click on that, you get Show Package Contents. And from there, you can see all of your recordings and the different parts of your project. So if you want to use a little snippet from a previous movie, all of your content is still there. So now you have all your files backed up and easily accessible anytime, even from the beach. If you have any questions or you just want somebody to stand by for moral support as you do this, please stop by the tech office and we'd be happy to help.
Previously on Tech It Out. This week in the office.
Hey Mike, can you find that email from Jay about rostering students? I think he sent it, I don't know, maybe at the beginning of the year. Do you know what I'm talking about? I can't find anything in Gmail. There's just so many emails.
I don't know. I can't figure out how to organize this. I don't know how to find anything.
Well, that's interesting, because my Gmail gives me joy.
Last week was all about cleaning up your Google Drive. This week, let's look at how we might clean up Gmail. I'm terrible with my mail management. For years I've been teased and harassed about how messy my inbox is or how many unread emails I have.
So many unread emails. Come on, do something with your inbox.
I've heard about things like Inbox Zero and been envious of people with minimal emails, but I've never done anything about it. So after last week's lecture about cleaning up Google Drive, I started doing some research, and I think I came across a solution. Well, at least one that works for me, and I'm just going to try it for a while. I've used labels in the past in Gmail, but I usually end up with too many labels, and a label isn't like a folder. Your emails don't move to a label. Even once you label something, it still remains in your inbox. I often use them for a while, but then get out of the habit and just don't use them. Now, rather than having subject-specific labels, I'm using labels that are action-oriented. And once an email is labelled or read, I archive it or delete it. I set up 4 new labels. 1, Action, for emails that I need to take action on or do something. Number 2, waiting. This is for emails where I'm waiting for someone else to do something or to provide me with some information. Number 3, notes, for emails that I want to keep a record of. And lastly, info to read. This is for articles, blog posts and other things that I might want to read later. Once I set up these, I changed my inbox from priority to multiple inboxes and created some new inboxes with each of the labels. To do this, I just prefix them with an L and a colon and write them here, as you can see in the settings. I then changed the inbox position to the right of my inbox. The last thing I did when I was in settings is to change the auto advance by going to the general tab, then selecting go to previous older conversation. This makes labeling and archiving emails much faster and easier. When I was out of settings, just like in Google Drive, I color-coded my inboxes by clicking on the 3 dots in them and changing their color. You can also change which labels you see in the label settings of Gmail. Now that I'm set up and ready to go, it's time to start cleaning out my inbox. I recommend going through the last 2 months or so of emails and deciding either if you want to delete them, permanently removing it, label them using one of the new 4 labels, and then archive it. You really want to archive every email even if you don't label it. What I like about archiving an email is it doesn't delete it. It just hides it. You can still search for it, or if you want, you can use the All Emails label on the left to see all of your emails, even the archived ones. The archived emails are still available in your other inboxes, so you can work through action items, find info to read, or check important notes. Once you've gone through the last 2 months of emails, you can probably safely archive everything in your inbox, which then gives you a clean inbox with 0 emails. Remember that by archiving you're not deleting, you're just hiding them and you can always find them later. Then it's just a matter of getting into the habit of labeling and archive every email as it comes into your inbox, reducing your email clutter and making you more productive.
It's so frustrating. I can't find
If this was a bit quick or you want some more information, I've linked a blog post below with more of the details of how to do it. So there you go. Now that you've cleaned up your Google Drive last week, get stuck into your Gmail this week.
It's 2021, and it seems like everyone has a cell phone in their hands. We resemble the walking dead, ignoring the living, traversing the halls inattentively, distracted like moths by the bright flashing lights of our phone displays. It's easy to tell others that they're getting too much screen time. But do you know exactly how much screen time you're getting?
If you have an Android device, sit tight because I'll tell you how to measure your screen time later. But if you have an iPhone or an iPad and want to know how much screen time you're using, go to your settings and you'll find the Screen Time app. When you open up Screen Time, you'll see just how much time your iPhone or iPad has had its screen on average, over the last week. If you want to go into more detail, you can click on See All Activity, and you'll see how much time you spent on your device that day, and how much time you've been on certain apps. Do you think you use Facebook too much? You probably do, because it's Facebook. But you can set a limit by setting an app limit. You can set this by category, or just specify your limit to a single app. I think I'll set my limit on Facebook to about 9 minutes a day here. If you have an Android device, you can find an app called Digital Wellbeing and Parental Controls within your settings. So I'm going to click Settings here, and I'm going to scroll down till I find Digital Wellbeing and Parental Controls. If this is the first time you're using this, you might have to give permission to your phone to use this app. When you click into it, you'll see how much time you've been on your device already that day, and a breakdown by app of how long you've been on those particular apps. Looks like I've been on YouTube for quite a bit today. So maybe I want to set a limit. If you click inside the circle, you can see I have set here a 15-minute limit. Let's increase that to about 20 minutes. I can click on the timer, move that to 20 minutes, and then click OK. Now I'll only be able to watch YouTube videos on my phone for 20 minutes. A really nice feature that Android phones have is that in digital well-being and parental controls, you can see just how many times you've unlocked your phone. Here it says, I've unlocked my phone 12 times, and it's just past noon. What does that say? Screen time is a great way to measure your device use, or even your children's. It's worth having a discussion with them to set limit agreements. So, have that talk with your children.